Hey, what's up? It's Matt in Japan. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're taking a look at part 505 of Devastator. This is Transformers Studio Series 86 Constructicon Mixmaster. Let's pause and take a quick look at the packaging. So pretty standard fare here for the packaging. In the upper left-hand corner, we see more than meets the eye. He is part 505 of Devastator. There you see Mixmaster, packaged in robot mode. You have the awesome piece of artwork there in both modes. Transformers Studio Series, Transformers the movie, Constructicon Mixmaster. On the side, you do get a picture of Debbie there, and you do see Collect to Combine. On the other side, much the same, just a wraparound shot, big Autobot logo there. He is a Voyager class. On the bottom, you have product info. On the top, you have Constructicon Mixmaster. On the back, we have our product shots and our blurb. Mixmaster combines with other Constructicons to form Devastator. I think they all say that, and we all know that. So he converts in 15 steps from his robot mode to his cement mixer mode, and I think this guy might be one of my favorites so far, but we'll soon find out after we get him opened up and see what Constructicon Mixmaster is all about. Okay, here we have Voyager class Constructicon Mixmaster out of the packaging. Before we get into his details, let's take a quick look at the one accessory he comes with, and that is his little pea shooter here, just done in black plastic. Not a whole lot of detail, a little bit of detail on the back there, but yeah, he has a little blaster. Obviously, he can fit in his hand. It is a tight fit here. It's really tight, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, he can hold his blaster in either hand. So I'm taking that off. And then also this back piece does come separately in the packaging. So basically you have to flip this down, fold it in, and then put it back. But it does come off. There are three little holes right there and 3 posts. And basically it just snaps on like so. So that is the back. So yeah, let's get into Mixmaster's details. Out of all the Constructicons so far, I think this head sculpt blows them all out of the water. A very nice head sculpt. I mean, you do have the classic silver face with the red eyes, but just the molded detail, almost the Decepticon logo looking crest on the helmet there, looks very, very cool. So I think, yeah, this guy might be my favorite so far. His head is a little bit difficult to access because of this cover here, but you know, it's classic Mixmaster. You have some nice detail on the front there. You do have a full purple chest with a little bit of red paint detail there. You see the Decepticon logo there. You have some really nice molded detail around the waist and crotch area there going down the figure. A little bit of molded detail on the legs. Actually, some really nice detail on the lower legs. That's how he looks from the side. And you have his arms here. Again, a little bit of detail there. You get some 5mm ports on the side. And you do see his tires. And that's how he looks from the back. Like I said, this does come separately in the package, but you just clip it on. He does have a little bit of a butt, kind of a butt piece hanging out here. Very solid, no hollow parts. Those are the inside of the legs. Going from this side, everything's all filled in. Even some nice detail on the inside of the arms there. But yeah, he feels great, feels very solid, nice, solid dude. But yeah, that's about it for Mixmaster's robot mode. Let's get into his articulation. So articulation for a Voyager Mixmaster here is as follows. Again, like I said, it's a little bit tricky to get in there. You know, it's not like you can kind of fold this back, but his head is, I'm sure it's on a swivel, it's on a ball joint. So, you know, you get some side to side, you get some little bit up and down, and it can swivel back and forth. But yeah, it's, you know, with my fat fingers, it's really hard to get in there. But anyways, other points of articulation, his arms can go all the way around like that. His shoulders do get a little bit blocked by this piece right here, so they can only go that far. But he does have a little bit of range there. He does have an upper bicep swivel, which is, yeah, it goes around all the way. But yeah, it does go all the way around like that. And he does have about 90 at the elbow. Now his hands are one molded piece, so there's no articulation on the wrists at all. That's all just one molded piece, which is too bad. And then just like all the other Decepticons, this guy has no waist. Everything's all just, you know, it's just one solid chunk. Like I said in other videos, they probably could have cut a waist in there somehow, but as it is now, there is no waist. So getting his arms out of the way, he can do the full split, so he can touch his toes. And he can kick back that far. He can kick forward about that far. He does have a 90-degree at the knee. And then he does have some nice ankle articulation there. He's got a deep ankle rocker joint. And a little bit of toe articulation, nothing really. He does have some a pin there for the heel spurs, so you can use those to pose him as well. So yeah, you know, not too much difference from him and the other Constructicons that I reviewed. So that's about it for his articulation. Let's do some comparisons. Here is Mixmaster next to Blitzwing and Spinister. And last but not least, Vortex. So you can see the size comparisons between a Voyager class and a Deluxe class. Let's get Constructicon Mixmaster transformed. Okay, let's transform Mixmaster. First thing you want to do is come back to the cement mixer part. You want to pull this part out and then flip this all the way around so this piece goes all the way back till it can't go back any further, and then that'll just clip back in like so. Next thing you want to do is come down here to the shins here, and then you want to just open up the front parts of the shins like that. Just open those up. And what I find easiest is doing it from the front. There are many connection spots right there, but if you turn it around to like the front of the truck, you can kind of line it up a lot easier. So basically you can just snap the legs together at this point. And then you want to kind of turn Mixmaster around this way, and then you want to just kind of fold up his feet so those, you know, the bottom of his feet are facing up like that. Then at this point, we're going to go like this, sort of to the truck side. And then we're going to sort of angle this part down. There are 2 slots right there, and that's going to peg into 2 tabs right there. Now, this can be a little bit tricky. So the first thing you want to do is basically get his legs up like this. So bend his legs, and then the knees, it's very tight, but these knees will bend back. So basically you want to put those up like that. So at this point, you want to bend these parts down like this. So this part sort of becomes flush with the top of the truck. That will allow this piece to slot right into that little nook right there. So you're going to bend it down, and then you'll see the connection point right there, and that'll tab really nicely into place. Next thing you want to do is just turn Mixmaster over like this, and then we're going to deal with these sort of heel spurs here. So first part is we're going to put these up. These will flip up like that, and it'll expose 2 tabs right there. So flipping this up like that, and then these 2 slots will slot into place like that. So you're just going to put those up like so. At this point, we can take the chest piece and just put that up for now, just to give us some room to work for the arms. Now, the arms will connect into a few different places. Again, making sure these arms are straight, making sure they are straight on both sides. They will connect in a few different places. There's a tab slot connection right here. And then also there's a tab and sort of a little nook right there on the inside of the arm that will slot together. So basically what you want to do is take the arms, take this hinge right there on the shoulders and put that up like that on both sides as far as it'll go. So again, on this side, hinging those shoulders up like that. And then it's just a matter of sort of placing these tabs, getting this tab lined up and that tab lined up. So it's easier to do it from the top, so you can see that tab will slot in there. And then this sort of inside of his hand will slot right there. So there we go. And then on the same thing on this side again, tapping that in and then finding that tab to fit on the inside of the hand there. So that'll tab in like so. And then sort of final step is turning it on the back and then just covering up Mixmaster's head like that. And that will snap into place. And voila, there we have Mixmaster in his vehicle mode. Let's take a look at Mixmaster's vehicle mode. I think the hardest part of that transformation was getting the legs folded and getting this piece to sort of tap in and stuff. The rest sort of comes, you know, very easily. But anyways, taking a look at the details, you get some nice silver painted rims there, and they are pinned on, so this guy does roll really nicely. And he feels just super solid. Everything about this guy is just super solid. You do see the purple paint for the windows. You see some detail on the side there. You have some nice silver paint for the front of the grille. Decepticon logo front and center. Get some windshield wiper, triple windshield wipers there. Again, you have that nice dark purple paint on the sides of the windows. And on the other side, you get the door handle, things like that. And you get a little bit of molded detail. On the top part, it is a little bit unsightly. You do see sort of the leg parts and things like that. But there is some nice molded detail right in through there. So yeah, you see the cement mixture part there, and then that's how he looks on the back. But yeah, like I said, this guy is super solid. Once everything, you know, you get him transformed, everything tabs in super tightly, solidly, and even on the bottom, you get some nice detail that we didn't see in robot mode. So yeah, that's about it for Mixmaster's vehicle mode. Let's do some vehicle mode comparisons. Okay, here's Mixmaster next to Bone Crusher. And here's Mixmaster next to Legacy Road Hauler. Okay, so that's about it for vehicle mode. Let's get this guy transformed into his leg mode. So finally, Devastator has two legs to stand on, and Mixmaster is very solid. He clips in very securely, as you can tell here. It just slides right in, and this piece just clips in and really has a nice secure connection. Now, if you do want to articulate the ankles, you do have to take these pieces off. If you sort of untab this part, which were the hands on Mixmaster, then you can get the ankle articulation for Devastator here. But if you just want to have him in a static pose, you can just sort of lock those back in, and then he just stands very, very securely. So yeah, so far so good. This guy is turning out to be a beast, and a very solid beast at that. From his chunky plastic feel to his secure connections in combined mode, Constructicon Mixmaster is a solid figure all around. His head sculpt is awesome and has some nice sculpted detail in both robot and vehicle mode. My only beef with him would be a lack of waist swivel, but that's about it. Mixmaster is now my favorite Constructicon out of the bunch so far. And so far, Devi is shaping up to be an incredible combiner, and can't wait to get Scavengers to complete the Decepticons' most fearsome giant in their army, Devastator. This has been Matt in Japan. This is my look at Transformers Studio Series Constructicon Mixmaster. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for more great content. Please follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And as always, till all are one.